Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to look at the top 5 tanks right now to play if you want to win games in World of Tanks Blitz. Now, we are looking at Blitz analysis, so this is all statistically accurate. So it doesn't mean that if you get the tank, you're going to completely win. It's just a saying because going by stats, these are the best tanks right now to play. So coming in at number 5, it is the E3. Now, I am not surprised one bit that this tank is up there at 53.6% win rate for the last update. Yeah, it's very, very strong. I've always said it's strong. It's an amazing tank. It's one of my favorite tank destroyers, not just in tier 10, but one of my favorites in the game. There's a couple of things that make the tank, and one of them being is that speed boost that the tank has got. I think the speed boost, honestly, it makes the tank, because if without that, you'd just go sort of this speed all of the time. But if you use the speed boost, then yeah, it does make you go a little bit quicker, and I like to use it right at the beginning of the battle, so you get to your destination or where you want to go a lot quicker than you would normally. So yeah, the speed boost makes the tank. The armor, of course, makes the tank, and overall I just think it is a fantastic tier 10 tank destroyer that I absolutely love. And whilst it is like this, I'm always gonna love it. Now, when it was first when it was first in the game, it wasn't as strong, and in fact it was one of the worst tier 10 tanks in the game. But how times have changed, and currently in the top 5 for the highest win rate in tier 10. So moving on to tank number 4. Next up, we have the Mouse. With 54.1% win rate, it's clear to see that people are still winning in this tank. Now, it's not one of those tanks that you think does win a lot of games. And I mean, people play the Mouse. A lot of people play the Mouse. But it's not as easy to play as some people think it is, you know? People just see it as a super, super heavy tank with a super amount of armor. It's only got a super amount of armor if you angle correctly. If you angle wrong, or if you sort of over angle or anything like that, then yeah, the armor actually isn't that great. But yeah, the Mouse, as I always say in every Mouse video I do, the Mouse isn't about doing damage. It isn't about going out doing a lot of damage. It's about being front line. It's about taking the shots for your team. Again, you have got a lot of amount of armor if you angle correctly, but you've also got the hit points as well. Crazy amount of hit points, and you need to use that. You need to use the armor system if you play it correctly, and you need to use that hit points to support your team, take the shots from the enemy team, and then of course, if they're looking at you and bouncing, if you're doing it right, they're not looking at your team and penetrating. And even if they do penetrate the odd shot, you do have the hit points. So yeah, the Mouse is winning. It's doing well, and hopefully it will continue to do so. So moving on to tank number 3. Tank number 3, we have the only medium, I think, in this list. It is the STB. Now, I think this was here the last update as well. Just over 54%, 54.6, I think it is, percent win rate over the last, the last update. Yeah, it's one of the best performing mediums in tier 10, and yeah, that does surprise me, because I think there are better mediums, but the STB is one of the best at playing the way it should be played. I mean, you've got the M48 pattern that can also sort of play the same kind of way as the STB, but yeah, it's not about the DPM. It's not really about the armor. It's about the turret. The DPM is still good for a medium, but it's all about that turret. It's all about the accuracy. It's all about just the gun getting on a ridge. You've got a very, very strong turret that makes it very, very difficult to penetrate when this tank is on that ridge using the gun depression. So honestly, I did think there would be you know, there's better tier 10 mediums out there. You know, the Object T62, for example, I think is better than this. But again, it all depends on how you play the tank. If you play it on a ridgeline, then yeah, this wipes the part with pretty much everything. The pattern comes close, but yeah, the STB is amazing. It's number 3 on the list, and it's performing really, really well. And actually, as I said, it's the best performing medium tank in tier 10 when it comes to win rate. So clearly, if you look at the stats, if you want to win games, especially in a medium, play the STB. Moving on to tank number 2. And we have a not so popular tank, the WZ113G, 55.7% win rate over the last 90 days. Over the last update. So this is the general stacks over the complete update of the previous, not this update that we're currently on, but the previous update. So I've always said it, I love the tank, I think it's great, the armor profile is very, very troll, the gun's very good, but not a lot of people play it. It's one of the least popular tanks in tier 10, which, yeah, it's always been the way. It's literally, ever since the tank has been released, it's never ever been a popular tank, which is a shame because, like I said, I absolutely love it. People are winning in it, and you can clearly see by the stats that it wins games. That was a stupid shot from myself. I should have just switched to the heat, but yeah, we're gonna get it back. So yeah, the WZG, I think it does need to play more. People don't give the tank a chance, and they used to always say it's a fake Object 268, but yeah, I like the tank. Whether I prefer it over the 268 or not is another story. I don't really play the 268 anymore, and to be fair, I don't really play this tank unless I am making a video. But yeah, number 2 on the list, the second best tank for win rate in tier 10 at the moment. So what is number 1? Well, number 1 is probably the most broken tank in the game at the moment. So let's go and have a look. And of course it is the XM. Now, I can't talk about this tank enough. Honestly, it is becoming one of my favourite tanks in the game. And a lot of that is, of course, to do with how insane the tank is. The armour, the DPM, even the speed. It's just amazing. It really, really is. And top of the pack, 56.1% win rate over the last update. Which, yeah, it's the best for win rate. So, of course, if you do want to up your win rate, then it's simple. Just get the XM 66 because it's just amazing. Now, of course, we are going to farm a little bit of an AFK here. There's no point me going around. As I always say, if you've got shots, take it. The enemy have 2 tanks down. I'm in no problem here at all. And of course, we're going to bring this guy down to a 1-shot. Of course, we're looking around, and if there is a tank that comes near us, then we would probably go for them. But as soon as we get this guy down to a 1-shot, I believe he then comes alive. So if we wouldn't have gone for him, that would be another tank in the game. As you can see, it's just come back alive, and he's now dead. So I didn't lose no hit points. My team didn't really die, so I had to go for that guy, really. And that's got me over 2,400 damage. So, of course, with 4 tanks left alive, we are going to go for the 60 TP. Now, the armor profile on this, again, as I said, it is amazing, but it's not impenetrable. People can still penetrate it quite easily. As if they, well, I say quite easily, but the bottom plate, they may have to switch to APCR, yeah, they or the heat. But it's all about the DPM and the fact that you do have armor. And the speed of it is just amazing. And I think in the next couple of weeks, the more I play this tank, the more it is becoming my favourite tank in the game, because it's just amazing. Do I think that eventually Wargaming are going to nerf it? Honestly, I know it's a premium or a collector, but yeah, I can't see how Wargaming can just leave the tank as it is, because it is just insane. It really, really is. But time will tell. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69. Let me know if you are surprised at any tank on this list, and are you surprised that there's not a certain tank on this list for winning games? So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.